20 November 2022 Madhuban Avyakt BapDada Shanti Revise 20th December 1992. The Murli's title is Only those who are obedient have a right to all the powers. Today, BapDada, the bestower of all the powers, is saying his Shakti army. The Father, the Almighty Authority, with all the powers, has given all Brahmin souls an inheritance of all powers equally. He has not differentiated and given fewer powers to some and more powers to others. Everyone has received equal powers from the One, all together at the same time. So Baba was seeing the result and wondering why there is a difference when everyone has received equally. Some became full of all the powers, whereas others only have some powers, not all powers. Some are constantly embodiments of power, whereas others became embodiments of power only sometimes. When some Brahmin souls with the authority of being those with all powers order a particular power at a particular time, that power comes in front of the master creators as their creation. They order it and it comes. Some order the powers, but the powers do not become present at that time. They do not say, Yes, I am present. What is the reason for this? Those who take every step according to the Father Srimad, those who say, Yes, I am present to the Father, the Almighty Authority, the One who is known as the Lord, and the One who is now present in front of you. That is, those who follow orders in a practical way are the ones who experience every power to be present in front of them. That is, each power says to them, Yes, I am present. Yes, Master. If someone is able to follow Srimad or an order easily and does it, but does not do anything he finds difficult, if he followed some orders but not others, if he sometimes says, Yes, I am ever present, and sometimes I am present, the practical proof, the practical example is that not all the powers become present for such a soul at a time of need. For example, according to a situation, you need the power to accommodate, and you think, I will definitely overcome the situation with the power to accommodate. I will definitely be victorious. But what happens? Those who are in the second number, that is, those who sometimes have the powers, will experiment with the power to accommodate. They will accommodate something 10 times, but while accommodating once or twice, they will not be able to accommodate everything. Even though they want to, what do they think then? I did not tell anyone. I accommodated it. These people were with me. They were cooperating with me and were my companions. And so I simply gave them a signal. I did not tell them, but just gave them a signal. I did not want to say anything but one word emerged. So what would you call that? Would you say that that is accommodating? You accommodated it in front of 10 people, but were not able to accommodate it in front of 1 or 2 people. So what would you call that? That the power to accommodate accept your order. It is your power, and the Father has given it to you as an inheritance. So the Father's inheritance is the children's inheritance. So, if your own powers are not useful to you, what would you call that? Would you call the powers those who accept your orders or those who disobey your orders? Today, BapDada was saying, all you Brahman souls to see to what extent each one of you has claimed a right to all the powers. If there isn't a right, then at that time you have to become subservient to the situation. BapDada has the greatest mercy when children are not able to use a particular power for a task at a time of need. What do they do at that time? When they are confronted with a situation, in what form do they come in front of the Father? They come in the form of knowledgeable devotees. What do devotees do? Devotees simply continue to call out, "Give us this, give us this." They run to the Father. They have a right over him, but their form is that of a royal devotee. Then, when instead of being one who has a right, they come in front of the Father in the form of knowledgeable devotees or royal devotees, as long as there is a trace of devotion, they are unable to attain salvation or success, which is the fruit of devotion. They are unable to attain salvation, that is victory. Where there is a trace of devotion, they cannot use knowledge, that is all attainments, the fruit of devotion. They cannot receive success. Devotion means labor and knowledge means love. If there is a trace of devotion, they definitely have to labor. And the custom and system of devotion is that God is remembered at times of difficulty. Otherwise, they remain careless. What do knowledgeable devotees do? When an obstacle comes, they have special remembrance. One is to sit in remembrance in order to serve, and the other is to sit in order to fill yourself with whatever is lacking. There is a difference between the two. Just as at present there is an atmosphere of peacelessness over the world, and you make special programs of having remembrance as a gathering in order to serve, so that is a different matter. You do that in order to give as bestowers. You do not do that in order to ask for something. You do it in order to give to others. That is for service. However, in order to fill yourselves with whatever is lacking, you have special remembrance at a certain time. But otherwise, there is carelessness about having remembrance. You do have remembrance. You do not forget, but it is remembrance with carelessness. We belong to Baba anyway. Who else is there? However, the practical proof of accurate, powerful remembrance is that the power will be present at the right time. No matter how much someone says, "I stay in remembrance," there has to be success as a result of remembrance. It shouldn't be that you experience happiness when you sit in remembrance, and you also experience power, but that when you come to perform actions or when you make contact or form relationships with others, there isn't always success. That is not called being a karma yogi. The powers are weapons. At what time should weapons be used? Weapons are always used at a time of need. Accurate remembrance means to be full of all the powers. The weapon should always be powerful. If an enemy comes in form of a situation and the weapon is not used enough according to the situation, what would you say to that? Would you call that being powerful? And being one with weapons, so let there be remembrance. That is success in every action. This is known as being a karma yogi. You are not yogis only at times of sitting down. Is the name of your yoga sitting yoga or karma yoga? You are karma yogis, are you not? There are constant actions and you are constant karma yogis. Just as you cannot stop performing actions even for 1 second, even when you are sleeping, you are performing the act of sleeping. Just as you cannot stop acting And the same way, you cannot perform a single action without having yoga. This is known as a karma yogi. For this, don't think the situation was like this, the circumstances were like that, the problem was like that, the atmosphere was such. That is an enemy. And when an enemy comes, if you say that the enemy came and that was why you were not able to use the sword, or that you did not remember the sword, or that the sword was not able to work, what would you call that? Would you say that you are one with weapons? You are the Shakti army. What is the power of an army? Weapons, and the weapons are all the powers. What result did Baba see? The majority lacked the ability to give orders to all the powers at times of need. They do understand, but in being embodiments of success at the right time, they either lack power or they do not experience much success and they move forward towards success. So Baba saw three varieties. First, those whose intellects understand at the time that something is not right, that they should not have done it, but even though they do understand it, they are not able to change their understanding into a form of power. Second, those who understand, but even with understanding, they think about it after the situation and the time have passed. The first number consider it for that short time, whereas the others consider it after the situation has ended. Third one, those who don't even realize that it is wrong, they always justify their wrong to be right. That is, they do not have the power to realize this truth. So check yourselves. What am I? BapDada had seen which children experience constant and easy success according to the present time. Within this too, there is a difference. There are those who easily experience success, and the second category is those who easily attain success after making effort. What did Baba see as the main basis of those who experience easy and constant success? Those souls who constantly conduct themselves with the speciality of humanity have been experiencing success easily. Humanity is just one word, but the depth and the varieties of the stage of humanity according to the time are many. Baba will tell you about this at some time later, but remember that to be humble is to keep your self-respect and that it is the easy way to receive respect from everyone. To be humble does not mean to bow down, but to make everyone bow down to your speciality and love. Do you understand? You all heard the result. Time is waiting in anticipation for you. And what are you doing? You're waiting in anticipation for time. You are the children of the Master, and so time is waiting in anticipation for you. Thinking, when will these masters transform me? Time is waiting for you. You have to make their preparations, not wait for time. Make effort to give the message to all and to bring time to a close. When both of these tasks are accomplished, time will stop waiting. So, are all of you making such preparations? At what speed? Saying the speed of time, you are also saying that it is moving very fast. You think about how so many years have gone by. Do you not? It has now been so many years since you have been receiving sustenance from the Avyakt Father. Time has gone by so quickly. So, what is your speed? Is it fast? Or do you get tired while moving fast and then take a rest? You are doing it and you are bound to do it according to the drama. But what is the speed? Check this. Service is taking place. Effort is being made. You are making progress. That is fine. So, now check the speed. Don't just check the way you are moving forward, check your speed. You are all doing your work. Are you not? Acha. To those everywhere who constantly say to the Father, yes, I am present. To those who constantly become master almighty authorities and make all the powers work under their orders, and in front of whom all the powers play their parts of being present. To the souls who are constantly images of success, to those who constantly experience the form of remembrance in every action, and who give others that experience, to such experienced souls, to those who are constantly humble in every action, relationship, and connection, to such victorious dwells, to the elevated children who easily experience being images of success, BapDada's love, remembrance, and Namaste. The spiritual children says Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. Personal meetings with Avyakt BapDada to show the sparkle of an elevated stage, even in ordinary action, is to follow the Father. Do you always experience being a confluence age, most elevated soul? The confluence age is called the most elevated. That is, it is the age that makes you into the most elevated human beings out of all beings. So, are you confluence age? Have all of you become the most elevated? Souls are the beings and bodies are matter. So, a most elevated being means a highest soul, who is the number one most elevated being, Brahma Baba. This is why Brahma is called Adidev. Angelic Brahma became the highest and in the future too. Because of being a deity soul, he becomes most elevated. Lakshmi and Narayan would also be called most elevated, would they not? So, it is the most elevated stage, and are the soul and the most elevated. The duty of the most elevated souls is also the most elevated. You don't just perform ordinary actions like getting up, eating, drinking, and working, but while you are performing ordinary actions, you have an elevated awareness and an elevated state, so that anyone who sees you feels that you are not an ordinary person. For instance, a real diamond may be hidden in the dust, but it will definitely reveal its sparkle. It cannot remain hidden. So the life of each of you is as valuable as a diamond, is it not? No matter what the atmosphere is like, no matter what the gathering is like, just as a diamond cannot hide its sparkle, in the same way, everyone should experience the sparkle of the most elevated souls. So, is it like this, or is it that when you go to your office, when you go to work, you also become ordinary like everyone else? Now you are incognito and your work is ordinary. This is why the Pandavas have been shown in an incognito form. They didn't rule a kingdom in an incognito form, but they served. So you are called government servants in someone else's kingdom, are you not? No matter how senior an officer is, he is still a servant. So, all of you are servers in an incognito form. However, while being servers, you are the most elevated, so that sparkle and spiritual intoxication should be visible. Brahma Baba used to be experienced as a most elevated being, even though he was in an ordinary body. All of you have heard about that, have you not? Did you see it or did you hear about it? Even now, you can see in the Avyakta form that there is a sparkle of the most elevated being in an ordinary form. So, you are following the Father, are you not? It should not be that you think you are doing ordinary work. Mothers are cooking and washing clothes. The work may be ordinary, but let your stage not be ordinary. Your stage should be great. Is it like that? Or is it that you became ordinary while doing ordinary work? Let it not be that you became like others. Let the impact of an elevated life be seen on your face. Your face is also a mirror. You can see your stage from it. From the mirror of your face, you can see whether your stage is great or ordinary. You yourselves can see it, and others can also see it. So, do experience your awareness and stage to be always elevated. If your stage is elevated, the sparkle will automatically be elevated. Those who have a stage that is equal are always with the Father. Physically, you may be sitting in a corner, you may be sitting on the side, or you may be sitting at the back, but in the stage of your mind, you are with the Father. Only those who are equal will stay with the Father. Physically, you may be sitting in front of Baba, but if you are not equal, you cannot then always stay together. You would then be on the side. So, to stay close means to make your stage equal. This is why you always have to stay in a most elevated stage, like that of Father Brahma. In a logic way, the behavior and faces of many children are like their fathers, and so it is said, this one is like his father. Here, it is not a matter of the face, but your behavior is the image. So let the Father be experienced through your every activity. This is known as being equal to the Father. So, do you want to stay close or far away? Those who stay close in their stage and thus one birth at the confluence age stay close in their supreme abode and also in the kingdom. The closeness in thus one birth will make you close for many births. Check every action. If it is like that of the fathers, then do it. Otherwise, change it. First of all, check and then do it. It should not be that you check it after performing the action and then say that it wasn't right. A qualification of a knowledgeable soul is that he first thinks and then acts. The qualification of an ignorant person is to act first and then think. So, you are knowledgeable souls, are you not? Or do you sometimes become devotees? Those of you from Punjab are courageous, are you not? You are courageous in your minds too. You do not get scared when Maya comes in form of a tiny little ant, do you? Are you those who issue and challenge? Are students ever scared of their paper? So are you courageous or will you get scared of a very small paper? Those who are worthy students invoke their test paper to come quickly so that they can move forward. Those who are weak would think the date should pass by quickly. You are clever, are you not? Have the firm faith that you are the victorious ones every cycle and that you will become that again and again. Have you made that much effort? If you don't become that, then who will? You were victorious. You have become victorious and you will remain victorious. You experience so much happiness when you say the word victorious. Your faces change, do they not? How happy those who are constantly victorious would be. This is why when anyone gains victory in any field, drums of happiness are beaten. Your bands are always playing. The drums of happiness should never stop beating. You are crying had stopped for half a cycle, where the drums of happiness are being beaten, there would not be any crying. Acha, blessing, may you be subtle and incorporeal and renounce the subtlest trace of body consciousness and ego. Explanation: many do not have any attachment or ego in a bodily gross form. However, in relation to their bodies, they have special sanskars, special intellects, special virtues, skills, or powers, and they have ego about this. There is arrogance, intoxication, or bossiness, and it is subtle body consciousness. That arrogance never allows you to become a subtle angel or incorporeal. Therefore, renounce even any subtle trace of it, and you will easily be able to become subtle and incorporeal. Slogan: be cooperative at times of need, and you will receive multimillion fold in return. Om Shanti